Fremont just quietly rolled its 10 millionth car off the line. Took 12 years to build the first million. Took 6 to build the next 9. No parade. That's how numb we've gotten to Tesla breaking its own records. That kind of pace is exactly why you're seeing the words Giga Press 4.0 everywhere right now, even though nobody at Tesla has ever actually said them. It's just a nickname the internet slapped on whatever's making numbers like that, possible, official, or not. And once you line up everything actually stacking up behind that nickname, you'll have to decide for yourself whether it undersells the thing or oversells it. So let's line it up. 10 million cars out of Fremont. A 5.2 million square foot land grab in Texas nobody's covering. Over 1,000 robots already clocking real shifts on that line. What Tesla's earnings actually said, buried under what the headlines chose to scream instead. And the quiet reason Volvo and Toyota are writing checks for the exact same machines Tesla bought years ago. Stick with me, because by the end, nobody's going to be able to sell you a story about this company that you can't check for yourself. How did Fremont get this fast? 12 years to build the first million. 6 to build the next 9. That jump isn't luck, and it isn't marketing. It's what happens once you quit bolting 70 stamped pieces of metal together with 300 robots standing around and start pouring one chunk of aluminum into a mold the size of your garage. Some of you bought a Buick back in the 90s. Think about how long it took that whole company, dealer network and all, to hit a production milestone like this one. It didn't happen in 6 years. It happened over generations, plants that got bigger but never really got faster. Fremont's doing the opposite. Same walls, same square footage, and the output line keeps bending up instead of flattening out. That's the real engineering story sitting under that nickname, and frankly, it deserves better than just being a made-up model number. So if Tesla never put out any press release with that name on it, what's actually got people calling it that? Giga Texas just filed paperwork for another 5.2 million square feet. Picture 90 football fields stacked on top of a campus that already covers more than 3 square miles. Most automakers would call that whole footprint their entire operation.
Tesla's calling it an add-on. When a company treats that much land like a rounding error, it tells you they're pretty confident all that space is going to fill up fast.
Part of it goes to a dedicated Optimus plant. Part goes to something called Terafab, Tesla's own chip line for AI hardware. And the casting side hasn't slowed down either. The Cybercab line, which runs the full unboxed process, meaning the car goes together more like a phone than a welded steel body, is already in volume production. Employees have been getting rides in finished Cybercabs on the Giga Texas campus since July. So no, nobody handed you a press with a shiny new number on it.
What you got instead is a real estate bill most homeowners would need a stiff drink to look at, and a campus that keeps chasing the same idea a little further. Fewer parts, fewer robots, fewer things that can go wrong on a Tuesday shift.
Is Tesla running the same trick on robots now? Fremont tore its entire Model S and X line out in 46 days. Gone.
A line that built cars for 14 years combined disappeared faster than some contractors take to finish your bathroom. And I say that as a man who's still waiting on a contractor from 2024.
What replaced it is Tesla's first dedicated Optimus line, and this isn't some staged demo for investors. Musk has confirmed over 1,000 Optimus Gen 3 units are already working the actual production floor, handling battery assembly, cable routing, connector seating on cars that are shipping to real customers this week. And to his credit, Musk hasn't tried to dress this up as easy. On the Q2 call, he called it the hardest manufacturing program Tesla's ever attempted. Something like 10,000 unique parts and a whole new supply chain being built from scratch with Samsung, TSMC, Panasonic.
So yeah, our supplies have been have been great, and they've made they have made and are making tremendous investments in support of Optimus and robotaxi and whatnot.
That's not how a company talks when it's faking a milestone for a stock bump. That's how a company talks when it knows exactly how hard the job is and is doing it anyway. Think about why that matters for our Giga Press story. The whole point of that giant casting machine was taking a process with hundreds of steps and hundreds of ways to fail and turning it into one pour. Optimus is the same idea, aimed at final assembly instead of the chassis. Fewer stations, fewer hands, fewer things that go sideways at 2 in the morning. Same philosophy, different uniform. If you're waiting on the next real surprise out of Giga Texas, forget a bigger press. It's more robots doing what 300 people used to do at a plant Tesla's already said could eventually crank out 10 million units a year once it scales past Fremont. What did the money actually say? Let's talk numbers, because I know some of you won't trust any of this until you've seen the balance sheet, and honestly, at our age, neither do I. Q2 revenue landed at $28.24 billion, up 26% year over year. Deliveries topped 480,000 vehicles, the best quarter since Q3 of last year. And the part most people forget even exists, the energy storage business, pulled in $3.1 billion on its own, riding on Megapack and the new Megablock product built for utility-scale projects. I won't pretend it was all sunshine.
Capital spending jumped hard because Tesla's running half a dozen major builds at once, and that squeezed margins this quarter. The kind of number that would get a normal CFO fired and a coffee named after him at Tesla.
If you want the unfiltered version, the Q2 shareholder letter is public. Go read it yourself. But strip out the noise, and here's the actual signal. A company spending this much, this fast, on factories, robots, and chips isn't a company easing off the gas. It's a company that decided to build 5 things simultaneously instead of 1, which is either the smartest bet in the industry right now or the most expensive one. Ask me again in a year, and I'll tell you which. Why is everyone else copying this? Volvo, BYD, Toyota, Hyundai. All of them are now sinking money into their own large format casting machines built on the same principle Tesla popularized years back. Fewer welds, fewer parts, one piece of aluminum instead of a metal jigsaw puzzle. That's not fanboy talk. That's publicly reported sourcing from the same equipment suppliers who build these machines for the whole industry, not just Tesla. Imitation's supposed to be flattering.
It's a little less flattering when you're the guy standing in front of your board, explaining why your factory just ordered the machine Tesla was already running 3 years ago.
That tells you exactly who's leading and who's playing catch-up. Not ahead of it, not even next to it, behind it, closing the gap the hard way. And none of these competitors are chasing a rumor here. They're chasing the same math Tesla worked out first. Fewer welds means fewer robots. Fewer robots means fewer breakdowns on a Thursday night shift. Fewer breakdowns means a lower cost per car that eventually shows up in the number on the sticker. That's the boring, unglamorous reason this technology keeps spreading, and it's got nothing to do with any official announcement. It's just what happens when the math works. What's happening over at the semi plant? And it's not just casting machines everyone's copying, it's the whole appetite for building 3 impossible things at once. There's a whole other factory quietly doing its job out in Nevada while everyone's arguing about a nickname, and almost nobody's talking about it. Tesla's dedicated semi-plant, 1.7 million square feet, sitting right next to Gigafactory Nevada, went into high-volume production back in April. Right now it's listed as commissioning, which sounds boring until you realize that's just the industry's way of saying the line is real, it's running, and they're dialing in the process before they open the throttle all the way. Tesla's talked about thousands of semis rolling out before the year's done, and the plant's built to eventually hit 50,000 units a year at full tilt.
Here's the part I actually find funny. The bottleneck on that truck was never the factory floor.
It was never demand either. Trucking companies have been lining up for this thing since the day it was announced. The real holdup has been batteries, plain and simple. Gigafactory Berlin's been ramping its own cell and pack lines, and every bit of that capacity frees up cells in Nevada and Fremont for the semi-ramp instead of splitting attention 3 ways. So picture the whole map for a second. Fremont's cranking out its 10 millionth passenger car. Texas is swallowing another 5.2 million square feet. Nevada's commissioning a truck plant built for 50,000 units a year. None of that needed a press with a number 4 slapped on it to be worth your attention. It just needed somebody to actually look. So here's the honest answer to that question I asked you back at the top. There's no official Giga Press 4.0. Tesla's never confirmed that name, that number, that machine. It's a nickname that stuck because too much has been happening at once for people to keep track of it any other way. And once you line it all up, a factory that hit 10 million cars 6 years ahead of schedule, a Texas campus adding more square footage than most competitors' entire plants combined, over 1,000 robots already on shift, I'd say the nickname undersells it. That's a bigger story than any thumbnail can hold. It just doesn't announce itself with a press release. All right, let's actually play this one. No cheating, no scrolling back. 1. How many years did it take Fremont to build its first million cars? Was it 6 or 12? 2. How much square footage did Texas just add? Is that closer to 500,000 or 5 million? 3. Name one company now buying the same casting machine Tesla bought years ago. Volvo, Toyota, or both. Got your 3 answers? Comment your score, 0, 1, 2, or 3 out of 3. And if you got all 3 without pausing the video, comment perfect. I want to see how many of you are paying closer attention than half the outlets covering this.
And if you're new here, we're closing in on 35,000 subscribers, which still catches me off guard, considering we started this whole thing arguing over cost of ownership spreadsheets in a spare bedroom.
If you want the straight numbers on where this industry's actually headed, no hype, no guessing games, stick around. See you in the next one.